Welcome back to Double Down University. I'm back with you guys with another MLB PrizePicks video for June the 28th. I have three props for you guys. I have Luis Arias over 8 hitter fantasy score. I have Yandy Diaz over 7.5 hitter fantasy score, as well as Anthony Santander, as you see right here on the screen, over 7.5 hitter fantasy score. So let's get into it. These guys bat pretty much in the same spot normally nightly. So Yandy Diaz batting in the leadoff. You have Luis Arias batting in the leadoff as well. And then Santander should be batting in the 3-hole. So Luis Arias right there batting in the leadoff spot. And Santander should be batting in his normal 3-hole spot. Yep, batting in his 3-hole spot. So let's get into it. So the Red Sox, they are pitching this guy, Caleb Ort, who is like a young prospect or a guy that's just pretty much a bullpen piece that comes out of the bullpen, pitches 1 to 2 innings. So today for them is pretty much a bullpen day where they're going to have him pitch 1 to 2 innings. Then they're going to have somebody behind him be like a kind of like a long reliever, innings eater type of pitcher to be able to bridge that gap from, the second or third inning all the way to like the 5th to 6th inning before they get into their real regular rotation of when the bullpen should start or come in. So Luis Arias is crushing righties. He's batting .407 against righties overall on the season, and then away he's batting .355 against righties. And like I said, Caleb Ort, who should be the opener. Now, granted, this can change and somebody else could pitch, but for the most part, he's scheduled to pitch. So against righties, or actually against lefties, he's given up an average of .308 batting average. So that's poor. So I really like him in this spot, especially going up against an all bullpen day. He's batting .396 against the fastball, and he's batting .457 against the slider. And those are the two predominant pitches that Caleb Ort throws. Now, digging a little bit deeper, looking into this matchup. So I always like to look at this. This beautiful website called baseballpress.com, where you can go and look at bullpen usage, and that kind of gives you an idea of who you will see once the starter comes out. Like if you are in a regular scenario where you have a traditional starter and they pitch like 5 to 6 innings and then the bullpen comes in. So what this shows you is, so like right here, Justin Garza, he pitched yesterday. He threw 39 pitches, and Joe Jacquez, he threw 33 pitches. So those are the only two pieces that they had to use out of their bullpen yesterday. So pretty much everybody else is available to throw. Normally, if you throw anywhere between like 25 to 30 plus pitches, you're not going to be scheduled to pitch that day. So you're going to have the next day off. So you should have anywhere between Brennan Bernardino, Kelly Jansen, Chris Martin, Chris Murphy, and like I said, Ort, because he's a bullpen piece. He's right here, but he's the projected starter. Nick Pivetta and Josh Wachowski. Now, if I had to guess, who comes in after him would be either Nick Pivetta or Josh Wachowski, who those are basically long relief pitchers because they have starter experience from in the past. So normally you'll see one of those two guys come in after him to be able to eat those 4 or 5 innings in between. So he's pretty much going up against all like righties. Like you see 1 lefty, 2 lefties, and the rest are righties. So like I said, his splits are good on either side of the plate as he's batting a ridiculous .371 against lefties and .407 against righties. So it doesn't really matter who comes into the game. He should be able to have his way with either one of those guys. So that's one pick that I really like. Moving on to Yandy Diaz. He is in another great spot where he's going up against a righty and Zach Davies, who is just a trash can of a pitcher. Like nothing is elite about his game. Nothing is elite about his metrics as well, and I'll get into that in a second. So he's going up against a righty. He's batting .312 against righties on the season, and then he's also batting .390 against righties away from home. And Zach Davies, as I previously stated, and you guys will see in just a second, so he is at home, and you would normally think you're at home, you get to sleep in your own bed, you should have better numbers at home, especially get spend time with your family, your kids, all that stuff. But he's actually worse at home than he is away from away from home. So he's giving up a .300 batting average to righties at home, and then he's giving up a .390 batting average to lefties at home. And the beauty about Yandy, Yandy is actually a right-hand hitter. For some reason I was thinking he's a switch hitter, but that's the next guy, Santander. He's a switch hitter, but Yandy is a righty, strictly a righty. So These splits is really good against, like I said, against righties at home. 300 batting average, pretty good. Now, granted, his pitches that he does throw is predominantly a sinker and changeup, and a little bit of fastball. He throws a fastball 15% of the time, that you see here. So not too much of a factor. A lot of these other pitches where he's less than 10% or 10%, like a little bit more than 10%, like the cutter, the curveball, and the sweeper, doesn't really use those too much. So you can kind of eliminate that. So just fastball, sinker pretty much. So against those two pitches, let's see how Yandy stacks up. So he is batting 309 against the four-seamer, as well as he's batting, let's see, let's go back, sinker, changeup, my bad. So sinker, he's batting 333, and then changeup, he's batting 259. So not bad, about average, but he's in a really good spot against Zach Davies. I think he should be able to create a bunch of havoc, especially being able to hit the ball hard. As you can see, his hard contact percentage is down, terrible, is 39th percentile. Doesn't strike anybody out, which is a bonus, because you know, no risk to a wasted at bat from striking out. His expected batting average is poor. His exit velocity is poor. His chase percentage and fastball velocity. So he doesn't throw a hard fastball. So it should be easy to connect. His fastball tops out at 90 miles per hour. So I really like that as well. Last but not least, Anthony Santander. So he's going up against Luke Weaver of the Cincinnati Reds, and Anthony Santander is at home, and Luke Weaver and the Reds are on the road, and he's giving up a 356 batting average to lefties and a 306 batting average to righties. And the reason I bring that up is because Anthony Santander is a switch hitter, so he can hit from either side of the plate. So both splits work out pretty well on either side of the plate. He's giving up over a 300 batting average to lefties and righties. And then on the season, he's giving up 329 against righties and 282 against lefties. So from my understanding, he probably would bat as a right-hand hitter today, as opposed to a lefty, or you can go vice versa. So either way, he should be able to crush Luke Weaver. And then let's take a look at Anthony Santander. So against righties, he's batting 267 against righties, and then, like I said, he's at home. So at home, he's batting 283. He has a better home split as compared to a road split, because he bats 254 on the road. So I really like that as well. Him better at home than away. And then as we look at Luke Weaver, terrible metrics, terrible hard contact percentage, 25th lowest percentile in hard contact percentage. His K rate is 24%, so he doesn't strike anybody really out. Expected batting average is low. Expected slugging percentage is low. He does have control of walks, so he should be okay with walks. But when you get in the game, it's a different story. Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. So with Luke Weaver, if he gets into that 2-0 hole where he has two pitches that are balls outside of the zone, and he has to go against Yandy, and he has to throw strikes over the middle, I think he can hurt him that way. But his curveball spin, he doesn't force people to chase a lot of his pitches, especially his curveball, his breaking pitch. So let's go and look at how he stacks up against what pitches that he throws the most. So pretty much to both lefties and righties, he throws fastball, changeup, a little bit of cutter, I should say. So let's look and see how Mr. Santander stacks up against the fastball and the changeup. So fastball, changeup. So he bats 242 against the fastball. That's okay. Then against the changeup, he bats 213. Okay as well, but I just think this is a prime spot for him. Just taking the metrics out of it, he should be able to do damage in this spot. I think, for me personally, I project him to get anywhere between like 8 to 9 fantasy, or close to 10. So I really like this projection as well. So I go back through them for you guys. I have, where'd it go? So I have Luis Arias over 8 hitter fantasy score, Yandy Diaz over 7.5 hitter fantasy score, and Anthony Santander over 7.5 hitter fantasy score. I appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe.